Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantment. Come, little children, the time's come to play here in my garden of shadows.
Hello, I'm Erma, aka Media Adaptation, and welcome back to Moderation's 31 Days of Halloween. We're doing a video each day for the month of October. And it's Saturday, so that means it's time for more Erma. We've got the last chapter of our mini-arc. So, let's not waste any time and get right down to it. The future is unknown, and I probably sound doubtful about it after writing all this. But where would we be without a little faith? There you are! I see you made yourself a little fan club. Oh, Emiko, you gotta try this tea. You won't believe how good it is. May I? Of course, mistress. Honey, I think we found our drink for tonight. Anything else you guys would like? Can I get a refill on this tea? This stuff's yummy. Yes, this is quite exquisite. Oh, it's nothing special. Just a simple recipe. Nonsense. What is your name, young one? You, madam. Throughout this entire week, I've been trying to find the perfect liquid refreshment for the festival. From the rarest wine to the cheapest sake. And all have failed to impress me. Until now. As of tonight, your tea shall be the drink of this year's night parade. What? Thank you, mistress. I don't even know what to say. Then don't say anything. Just be ready to get to work tomorrow. Yes, madam. Whatever happens the next couple days, however chaotic things may get, I'm sure we can get through it. And if it's anything like last time, it'll be November at the earliest before we get the start of the next story arc. Or we could simply just take the holidays off and focus on the game, which means it could also be around January before he gets the time to do so. But until then, we have Erma to look forward to. So if you haven't already, cast your suggestions on who you'd like to see Erma cross over with next. The only rules is no OCs, and nothing that has already appeared in previous crossovers. But other than that, have fun with it. I'll see which 13 get picked, and the first one will be posted on the 19th. Also, we got this lovely little picture he posted on Facebook. While it was worth a good laugh, it's going to take you forever to get all those pumpkin seeds out of your hair. And with that, it's time for all your Q&A. So I'll turn the reading over to our co-host, Ida. So, what do we have first?
If she could do a Dragon Ball style fusion with anyone, who would it be?
Well, I'd like to see a fusion between her and Spooky from House of Jump Scares. And again, by the rules of the fusion dance, they have to be of similar stature. So I believe that fits the criteria, and that's why I went with her.
If you would rank her aunt and uncle on a list, what would it look like?
Are we going by power or just my personal preference? Or just a bit of both. So at the top, I'd probably go with Ren and Fumiko. Then I'd probably also have a tie between our Rokurubi and Nukakubi. And then at the bottom, probably our No Face and Oni, since we really haven't seen them demonstrate their powers.
Who would win in a race, her or Berter?
Berter, easy. Dragon Ball Z physics compared to normal are just insane.
What if she met Carrie?
Before or after she went on a psycho rampage? Either or, I really don't see her flat out attacking Erma, so I think she'd go over to give her a hug.
What if she met Junko?
Is it just me, or does she give off the same aura as their first babysitter? I'm pretty sure they probably keep their distance from each other.
What if she met Spooky?
Well, speak of the devil, I'd say they get along great, unless she starts her plans to raise a ghost army to take over the world. Yeah, pretty much any scenario but that, and they'll be okay.
What career would Erma have?
Well, now that's an interesting question. Her dad is a writer, but she hasn't shown any interest in trying that herself. But she does have a natural talent for art, being good with both painting and sculptures. So I could see her choosing a career down one of those paths.
What if she fought the Diamonds?
Do we add Pink? Part of me kinda wants to say no, cause back when she went by that name, she didn't have any combat experience. And then when she was Rose, she couldn't make herself fight against anything to the death. So it's not technically considered cheating, cause in Era 2 the term Diamonds only refers to the other three anyway, and it really won't matter. So for the fight, I see Yellow taking point and trying to use melee, which doesn't do anything, cause her speed and her phasing, causing her to switch to long range with her lightning, but she'll get the same results. The trouble begins when we start adding Blue to the equation. As for her go-to multi-shot, can attack from different angles, and as we saw in Tales of Outcast Labyrinth, she has a weakness to dealing with that kind of attack. Also, all it would take is one blast to connect to give Yellow and White an open shot to end the fight. If we go by another scenario, and have Erma as the aggressor, she could manage to poof one of them, and then learn the significance of the gem, and then try to rip one out of the other. But again, that would also leave her open to the third. No matter how you look at it, the Diamonds still have the edge in this fight, and more options to end it in their favor. Blue could just as easily use her emotion projection to stop her dead in her tracks. Yes, that normally doesn't affect humans, but it does work on the same frequency as her ESP, turn her own power into a weakness that they can exploit. Plus, they can simply just bubble her. Erma's power of phasing does not work on magic. And yes, she is strong enough to pop it from the inside, but again, that would also leave her open to an attack. So, as I said before, more fights end in their favor. So, vote for the Diamonds.
What if she fought Shendu?
No. He doesn't have god-level powers, but does have a variety of effects that are highly problematic. Fire breathing, heat blast, super strength, telekinesis, invisibility, super speed, shape-shifting, and its big two trump cards, healing and immortality. And the only way to actually stop him are two specific Chinese spells. And being that Erma only knows Western magic, there is no way for her to actually stop him. Which, even if she could kill him, it really wouldn't do much, as he also has mastery over the astral form. So in short, I'm siding with the dragon.
Would she be friends with Hilda?
Easily, they're a lot alike in their personalities, and they both constantly meet other mythical creatures, and I'll really be surprised if she doesn't show up for this year's Irmaween.
Would she be friends with Ed and Eddie?
Well, 2 out of 3 is a safe bet, as Eddie is kind of in the same boat as the twins, which that in among itself is a very scary thought. Having someone with a multitude of schemes, and 2 bored kids who are able to pull them off.
What if she fought Optimus Prime?
Here, I also see phasing being a key point in the battle, but unlike against bioorganic opponents, she wouldn't be able to remove his spark because of the feedback. Plus, he also has the Matrix, making that route highly unlikely, so a quick kill wouldn't happen. Also, his sword or energy axe could also cut on her hair, but his long range wouldn't be that effective either. I'm gonna label this one a tie, cause neither could actually do any lasting damage to the other. Erma's ESP has the greatest possibility of doing so, and can slowly chip away at him. But again, in some tellings, the Matrix also has a healing property, which would reset any of the progress she made. So yeah, I'm sticking with tie.
What if she fought Alucard?
There are a couple people by that name, so I'm unsure of which one you're referring to. And since we did the Hellsing one a while back, of which he did win that match, so I'm going to entertain the thought of going with the Castlevania one for now, which would have different outcomes depending on if you're asking the anime or the video game. As for the former, he has some great feats, but it's anything we haven't seen Erma already deal with her fight with the trio. The game, on the other hand, could actually match her in a lot of ways, and on top of that, he has holy items, which does affect her as we've seen in her visit to the dentist. So in short, she beats the anime, but the game beats her. Also, we have a different one-off question of what happens if she meets the Alucard from Hellsinga Bridge, which I think he'd actually find her quite charming, so he wouldn't just flat out kill her. And the reasoning behind that is his love for Adventure Time.
What if she met the people from the Grey Garden?
Well, I'm gonna have to take a terrain check on this one, cause I'm not that familiar with the game. And when I started doing some of the research on it, it kinda makes me feel like we should probably do a full review of it, kinda like we did with Mangeku's Castle, and then come back to this question at a later date. Sorry if that answer feels like a cop-out.
What if she met Mystery by Sleepy King?
I, have no idea what would happen, cause he's kind of random. So, maybe charmed, then confused, followed by disturbed. Yeah, in that order. That pretty much sums him up.
What if she met Elsa from Frozen?
I think they probably built some snowmen with her sister. Oh, and on a side note, if someone asked if they had a fight, yes, her ice magic would be equal to our Yukiona's from the trio, only she'd have a quite higher proficiency in it. But footspeed would also play a huge role in the fight, and it would probably end the same.
What if she met Ava the Demon Girl?
Wait, I thought Ava was the human, and the demon's name was Arathia Bellamina. Or wait, do I have the wrong webcomic? Anyway, Ava, I believe they'd probably get along nicely. Demon, I'm a bit on the fence on, because in a few cases I could see her tolerating it, and others probably punching in the face. So I hope that answers your question.
What if Erma's cousin Emily met the twins?
I think Emily would drive them insane. They'd probably spend most of the day trying to hide from her with little success.
We are told in Spirit's Bloom that Erma may bring the end of the world, and if so, do you think Loomis, in an attempt to prevent it, may instead trigger it in some way?
That's how these events kind of tend to unfold. And I'm going to quote the turtle from Kung Fu Panda. Men always meet their destiny on the road that they take to avoid it.
Can't she be T from Species?
Well, she has spikes, and some increased stats, but nothing major that sticks out that would give her an edge in the fight. So I'll vote for Erma.
What if Erma was reimagined into a sci-fi story and took place in the future? Do you think Erma would be reimagined as a robot?
Well, she is a hybrid, so I think she'd probably be more like a cyborg. Or at least a mix of some kind of alien.
Can't she beat Sod from Berserk?
I don't think so. He's just under the limit of a god-level being, beating her out in most stats, and he has regeneration on top of that, so I believe he'd win.
Can't she beat Nihiland from Half-Life?
Oh, the giant floaty baby boss battle? It really couldn't stop a human, and her ESP is way stronger than his. So I'm voting for Erma.
Do you think Erma would be friends with Goliath?
Again, easily. And I think they'd be flying buddies.
Do you think the demon elementary school teacher would be a good substitute for Erma's teacher?
Given how afraid her current one normally is, yeah, I say let's give her a break for a bit, and bring her in. She's nice, fair, and kind, and doesn't use her demonic powers unless you step out of line.
Do you think she'd be friends with the group from Skin Deep?
Well, they just learned that demons exist, so seeing a ghost might not be too far off. And I'm pretty sure she'd try to get a piggyback ride from her Sphinx.
Do you think she'd be friends with Norman?
Well, I'm told that there's a storyline called Night in the Woods, which crosses over with her. So it's pretty much a given. But sadly, I can't find it anywhere. So if anyone knows, please throw the link down in the comments.
If Sam was a yokai, what type do you think he'd be?
I'd go with Inugami, pretty much a counterpart to the Kitsune, and the personification of loyalty, which pretty much sums up Sam's character nicely. And that about does it for this video. If you have any other ideas like seeing made into a video, then please post it down in the comments below, and we'll add it to our next viewer request week.
It's now time for the part of the show where we ask you to help us appease the YouTube algorithm by dropping a like, share, or comment. It helps out much more than you'd think.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, then it's very much appreciated. And if you'd like to support this channel, then please visit our Patreon. Link will be down in the description below. Even if you can't give a lot, every little bit helps. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Anyway, I'm Runya.
And I'm Ada.
Remind you to take life in moderation.
Weep not, poor children, for life is this way, murdering beauty and passion. Hush now, dear children, it must be this way.